Point 5. Neglecting new friendships. The silent decline of joy in old age. Growing older often feels like walking through a house where all the lights are slowly going out. First, it's a cousin who stops calling. Then a friend moves away. Then someone passes. And before you realize it, your circle has quietly shrunk to the size of your living room. But here's the tragedy. Many older people stop trying to make new friends, thinking it's too late, too hard, or unnecessary. And this silent withdrawal is one of the biggest emotional mistakes we make in our later years. We convince ourselves that no one will understand us, that everyone is busy, that making friends at 70 is somehow awkward or embarrassing, so we retreat into routines. We talk only to the same two people, or sometimes to no one at all. But here's the truth. Human beings, no matter the age, are wired for connection. And that doesn't change when your hair turns gray. In fact, it becomes more urgent. You see, studies show that loneliness is more harmful than obesity or smoking 15 cigarettes a day. It doesn't just hurt emotionally, it shortens your life. It affects your immune system, increases your risk of heart disease, and even accelerates cognitive decline. Story time. Let me tell you about Mr. Actor. He lost his wife at 74. For 2 years, he didn't speak to anyone outside his immediate family. He told himself, what's the point of new friendships at this age? But one day, his granddaughter dragged him to a local poetry group for seniors. He resisted at first, but that one meeting led to another. And soon, he found himself laughing again, sharing memories, even performing. At 78, he wasn't just surviving, he was living again. What Mr. Actor learned, and what many of us forget, is that new connections don't replace the old ones. They help us carry their weight. Why you need new friends after 70? They keep your mind active with fresh perspectives. They help you share your wisdom, a gift many younger people crave. They remind you that life is still full of possibility, even at 80. But how do you start? It's easier than you think. Join a book club, even if you haven't read in years. Start a chai circle. Invite one neighbor every week for tea. Attend community centers or local classes. There are people out there waiting for someone like you. You're not too old to be loved. You're not too late to be understood. Friendship is not bound by age. It's awakened by courage. Don't let old age become a prison of silence. Reach out, invite conversation, be open. Because sometimes, the best moments of life don't come in youth, but in unexpected connections made in later years. As the years pass, the mirror may show us wrinkles, and the body may slow down, but the heart still remembers how it felt to be young. Growing older is not a failure. It is a privilege, a journey filled with stories, lessons, and silent battles. Yet, too often, happiness slips through our fingers, not because of time, but because of the mistakes we unknowingly make along the way. If you're over 60 or caring for someone who is, this video is a gentle but honest reminder. Some mistakes in old age can quietly steal your peace, your health, and even your purpose, but the good news is you can change it. Today, we'll explore 5 huge mistakes people make in old age and how to avoid them for a life of fulfillment, strength, and serenity. Point 1. Ignoring emotional needs, the silent burden of loneliness. Visuals: a senior woman looking out a rainy window. Slow panning shots of empty living rooms and family photos. One of the most underestimated dangers of growing older is not disease, but disconnection. Many seniors quietly suffer in silence, missing the warmth of voices, the laughter of children, the comfort of a hand to hold. Friends pass on, children move far away, the phone rings less often. And over time, people begin to accept loneliness as a part of aging. But emotional isolation doesn't just hurt the heart. Studies show it leads to higher risks of heart disease, dementia, depression, and even early death. You see, we are not just flesh and bone, we are connection, memory, touch, and love. The mistake: believing that needing people is weakness, that asking someone to visit is begging, that staying quiet is dignity. Dear listener, it is not. You deserve companionship. You deserve meaningful conversations. You deserve to laugh, even now. Whether it's joining a local group, calling an old friend, or talking to your neighbor over tea, it matters. Because when the soul is fed, the body begins to heal. Point 2. Neglecting movement. How a still body leads to a stuck life. Time-lapse of an elderly man sitting all day. Contrast with scenes of seniors stretching, walking, dancing. It starts subtly, a little stiffness in the knees. A fear of falling, a comfortable chair that keeps calling your name. And slowly, you stop moving, you stop walking, you stop trying. But the mistake here is simple, yet deadly, assuming that rest equals recovery. In old age, too much sitting doesn't save you. It rots your muscles, weakens your bones, and shrinks your world. Movement is not just about exercise, it's about independence. The ability to tie your shoes, get out of bed, reach for a cup. It's the difference between needing help or living with dignity. The body is designed to move. You don't need to run marathons. Simple routines like stretching in the morning, gardening, dancing to your favorite old song, or walking 15 minutes in the sun can change everything. When you move your body, you move your mind, you invite hope. You push back against decay, you declare to life, I'm still here. Point 3. Living without purpose, the danger of drifting in retirement. A retired man pacing slowly in a hallway, cut to him volunteering at a community garden, smiling. We spend most of our lives working, building careers, raising families, paying bills, and then suddenly, it all stops. Retirement comes with quiet mornings, but also a question: now what? The third mistake many make is this: retiring from purpose. We are not meant to wake up with nothing to do. Purpose is not only for the young. In fact, it may matter even more as we grow older. Because it's not our bones or joints that fail us first, it's the loss of something meaningful to live for. Volunteering, mentoring, painting, storytelling, helping others in small ways, these are the gifts that keep the heart alive. Your experience, your wisdom, your time. They still matter. Don't drift. Design your days. Choose what fills you. Purpose is not about productivity, it's about meaning. As the Japanese concept of ikigai teaches us, the secret to a long life is having a reason to wake up each morning. Point 4. Avoiding health screenings, the cost of waiting until it hurts, a calendar with missed appointments. Doctor's office with welcoming staff, scenes of seniors getting checkups. Sometimes, fear whispers, if you ignore it, it will go away. But time is not kind to silence, especially when it comes to health. The fourth mistake many seniors make is this: skipping routine checkups. Avoiding doctors, refusing tests, dismissing small pains until they become big problems. Whether it's blood pressure, diabetes, vision, hearing, or cancer screenings, early detection saves lives. Yes, hospitals can be cold. Yes, the paperwork is tiring. But your body speaks and you must listen. There is no shame in illness, but there is danger in denial. Being proactive with your health is not paranoia. It's wisdom, it's self-respect, it's love for yourself and your family. A single test today could add years of tomorrows. Point 5. Dwelling in the past, the trap of regret and what-ifs. A senior flipping through a photo album, then putting it down and smiling at grandchildren playing nearby. Regret is a quiet thief. It doesn't shout, it doesn't rush. But slowly, it takes joy from your today by chaining you to your yesterday. Many older adults fall into this final mistake, living too much in the rearview mirror, the things not done, words not said, the loved ones lost, the mistakes that still hurt. But my dear friend, hear this: the past is a place of learning, not a place of living. You cannot fix every error, you cannot rewind. But you can forgive yourself. You can accept what was and choose what is. Today still belongs to you. And every new morning is a chance to create a memory that makes peace with the past. Let go of what you didn't become. Embrace who you are now. Because life doesn't stop giving until you stop receiving. Point 6. Ignoring emotional pain and loneliness. One of the most silent yet devastating mistakes people make as they grow older is ignoring their emotional wounds. Loneliness in old age is not just a passing feeling, it can be as dangerous as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. When older adults isolate themselves or feel forgotten, their bodies react physically. Cortisol levels increase, blood pressure rises, and immune systems weaken. After retirement, children move away and friends begin to pass. Many elders find themselves surrounded by silence. They smile on the outside but feel empty inside. And instead of expressing it, they bottle it up. They convince themselves that their sadness is part of aging, that it's normal to feel invisible, but that's far from the truth. Emotional health is just as vital as physical well-being. Older people must be encouraged to speak openly about how they feel, whether through conversations, therapy, or community support groups. Because healing starts when we stop hiding our pain. Point 7. Over-medicating or mismanaging medications. Another major, but overlooked mistake is the over-reliance on medications, or worse, mismanaging them. Many seniors find themselves with a growing list of prescriptions. One pill for the heart, one for sleep, another for digestion, and so on. Over time, this cocktail of drugs can interact in harmful ways. Some may cause dizziness, confusion, or even increase the risk of falls and hospitalization. The problem often lies not in the medicine itself, but in the lack of regular review. Many seniors continue taking medications long after they're needed. Or worse, they mix over-the-counter drugs or supplements without informing their doctors. Polypharmacy, the use of multiple medications, is now one of the biggest threats to senior health. To prevent this, seniors should have regular medication reviews with a trusted healthcare provider. Simple things like using a pill organizer, keeping an up-to-date medication list, and understanding the purpose of each drug can significantly improve safety and well-being. Point 8. Avoiding strength-building activities. Many older adults focus on walking for fitness, which is excellent, but they forget about strength training. And that's a huge mistake. After the age of 60, we naturally lose muscle mass every year. This process is called sarcopenia, and it can lead to weakness, frailty, and falls. Walking alone isn't enough to maintain the strength needed for everyday tasks like climbing stairs, carrying groceries, or rising from a chair. Strength training, even in small forms like resistance bands, light dumbbells, or bodyweight exercises, helps maintain muscle and bone health. It also boosts metabolism, supports joint health, and enhances balance. Even those in their 70s, 80s, or beyond can see tremendous benefits from strength-focused movement. Programs tailored for seniors are widely available, even online. The goal isn't to become a bodybuilder, but to maintain independence and confidence in movement for as long as possible. Point 9. Not planning for purpose. Retirement can be both a gift and a trap. For decades, people live with a purpose, careers, raising children, building homes. Then suddenly, the schedule clears, no more alarms, deadlines, or responsibilities. While this freedom is initially celebrated, it often leads to a quiet emptiness. Without purpose, days blur. Time feels heavy, a sense of what now takes over. This can lead to depression, apathy, and even cognitive decline. Purpose is the fuel of life. And in older age, it may come from volunteering, mentoring, learning something new, nurturing hobbies, or simply caring for pets or gardens. It's important to remember that every day still matters, your wisdom still matters. Finding a reason to get out of bed each morning, no matter how small, is what keeps the spirit alive. Elders who thrive often have one thing in common: they feel needed and useful. Point 10. Holding on to resentment and regret. In the later chapters of life, many people carry emotional baggage heavier than any physical ailment. They replay old betrayals, unresolved family tensions, or missed opportunities. Regret becomes a constant whisper, and resentment hardens the heart. But holding on to these emotions doesn't punish the past, it poisons the present. It steals joy, damages health, and blocks meaningful connections. Studies show that chronic resentment and bitterness can increase stress hormones, disrupt sleep, and even contribute to cognitive issues. Letting go isn't easy, but it's essential. Forgiveness is not about excusing someone's actions, it's about choosing peace over pain. Whether it's writing a letter you never send, speaking your truth, or simply making peace with your past through reflection or prayer, the act of release is liberating. Old age is not meant to be lived in the shadow of yesterday. It's a time to embrace peace, acceptance, and joy. Those who learn to let go often discover that the final stretch of life can be the most beautiful chapter of all.